How to deal with insults without losing your confidence. The moment of insult and who you really are. There is a moment in every life, a small moment, but a powerful one. Someone looks at you and says something sharp, a rude word, a cold sentence, a careless comment. In that second, the world becomes quiet. Your body stops. Your mind freezes. Your heart beats faster. You feel something inside: confusion, hurt, anger, embarrassment. You ask yourself one question: why did they say that to me? Maybe you want to speak. Maybe you want to stay silent. Maybe you want to disappear. Maybe you want to fight back. This moment is not rare. It happens to students. It happens to workers. It happens to beginners. It happens to dreamers. It happens to kind people. It happens to strong people. You are not alone in this experience. But what you do in this moment decides something important. It decides how you see yourself. It decides how others will treat you. It decides how strong your confidence will be in the future. Some people let insults break them. They go home and think about the words again and again. They replay the scene in their mind. They lose sleep. They lose energy. They start to feel smaller inside. Some people let insults define them. They begin to believe the words. They change the way they walk. They change the way they speak. They hide their real thoughts. They hide their dreams. But there is another kind of person, a stronger kind. They do not become hard on the outside. They become strong on the inside. They do not answer with noise. They answer with dignity. They turn pain into power. This article is for that person, for the part of you that is tired of being disrespected, for the part of you that wants peace, for the part of you that wants confidence without anger. Today you will learn something simple, but life-changing. You will learn what insults really mean. You will learn why people insult others. You will learn how to protect your confidence. Not with difficult words, not with complex grammar, only with simple English, short sentences, clear meaning. This is not only an English lesson, this is a lesson for your heart. Before we talk about what to do, we must understand something important. Who gets insulted the most? Many people believe that insults go to weak people. They think insults go to people with no value. They think insults go to people who are not important. But this is not true. Very often, the people who get insulted the most are not weak. They are gentle. They are patient. They are kind. They are calm. They do not like conflict. They do not like drama. They do not like hurting others. They choose peace over noise. They choose silence over shouting. They choose understanding over attack. They listen more than they speak. They give people many chances. They try to see the good in others, even when others do not deserve it. They believe that being quiet is better than making trouble. They believe that being kind is better than being cruel. They believe that respect will come naturally. So they become the quiet ones in the room, the soft ones, the calm ones. But here is a painful truth. The world does not always respect kindness. The world does not always understand softness. Sometimes people see calm and think it is weakness. Sometimes people see silence and think it is fear. Sometimes people see patience and think it means you will accept anything. For some people, this becomes an invitation to push your limits,
an invitation to test your boundaries, an invitation to speak to you in ways they would never speak to someone aggressive. A rude person looks at you and thinks one thing: they will not fight back. They know you will not shout. They know you will not insult them in return. They know you will not create a scene. So they choose you as their target, not because you are small, but because you are safe for their anger, safe for their frustration, safe for their bad mood. Over time, something begins to change inside you. You start to feel invisible. People notice you only when they want to release stress. You start to feel smaller when someone speaks down to you. You start to question yourself. Why do people treat me like this? Did I do something wrong? Is something wrong with me? Slowly, you begin to carry their words. You carry them in your mind. You carry them in your heart. You carry them into your future. But today, you must learn one clear truth, a truth that can change your life. An insult does not describe you. It describes the person who speaks it. A confident person does not need to insult others. A happy person does not try to destroy someone else's peace. A person who respects themselves does not need to disrespect another human being. When someone insults you, they show you their inner world. They show insecurity. They show fear. They show jealousy. They show impatience. They show emotional immaturity. Their words are not mirrors. They are projections. They are throwing their pain outward. They are pushing their frustration onto you. They hope it will make them feel bigger. They hope it will make them feel stronger. But their pain is not your identity. Their frustration is not your value. Their anger is not your truth. To understand this deeply, let me tell you a simple story, a quiet story, a small moment, but with a big meaning. Imagine a man walking through a market early in the morning. The sun is rising.
The light is soft and golden. The air is cool. The world feels calm. This man is peaceful. He enjoys simple things: a warm drink, a slow walk, a friendly smile. He carries a small bag. He wants to buy food for his family. He walks from stall to stall. He greets people. He moves gently through the crowd. Then something unexpected happens. At one stall, the seller looks at him with irritation. The seller raises his voice. The seller speaks with anger. "You again! You waste my time. You never buy enough. Go somewhere else." The words are sharp. The tone is rude. The anger has nothing to do with the man. For a moment, the man stops. Anyone else might argue. Anyone else might defend themselves. Anyone else might shout back. But the man does not. He does not let the insult enter his heart. He does not let the words change his mood. He does not allow anger to steal his peace. He simply nods. He speaks softly. "Okay." Then he turns and walks away. No fight, no drama, no bitterness. Another seller sees everything. He is surprised. Most people would react with anger. Most people would feel embarrassed. So he asks the man a question. "Why did you stay quiet? He insulted you. He spoke to you like you did something wrong." The man looks at him calmly. He says something simple but powerful. "If a person offers you anger, you do not have to accept it." These words hold a deep truth. When someone insults you, they are not giving you wisdom. They are not giving you truth. They are offering you their anger, their frustration, their pain. It is like someone trying to hand you a heavy bag, a bag full of darkness, a bag full of poison. You do not have to take it. You do not have to carry it.
You do not have to let it touch your heart. This is the first key. This is the beginning of real strength. When someone insults you, something important is happening. They are trying to transfer their emotional weight to you. They want you to feel what they feel: anger, hurt, smallness. But you always have a choice. You can accept their anger, or you can let it fall to the ground. This does not mean you must stay silent forever. This does not mean you must accept disrespect again and again. This does not mean you let people walk over you. Silence can be powerful, but only when it comes from strength, not from fear. The man in the market was not weak. He was in control. He chose peace, not because he was afraid, but because he refused to carry someone else's darkness. This is what you must learn too. You do not need to react immediately. You do not need to prove yourself in that second. You do not need to explain who you are. First, you must understand what is really happening. The insult is not about you. It is about them. Before we learn how to respond, we must go deeper. We must understand why people insult others. When you understand the mind behind insults, something changes inside you. You stop taking every word personally. You stop believing every negative sentence. You stop letting someone else's pain shape your self-image. Once you understand why people insult, the sting becomes smaller. Your mind becomes clearer. Your heart becomes calmer. So, let us begin with the first reason.
People insult because they feel threatened. Sometimes your presence makes someone uncomfortable, not because you did something wrong, but because you remind them of something they lack. Your confidence may disturb them. Your progress may scare them. Your calm nature may make them feel weak. Your discipline may show them their own laziness. Instead of improving themselves, they choose an easier path. They try to bring you down. They use words as weapons. They try to reduce your light so they can feel brighter. When a person feels that you are rising, they may insult you to push you back, not because you are weak, but because they are afraid of your potential. Once you understand this, their words lose power. You see the insult for what it truly is, a mirror of their fear. You are no longer the target. You are the reminder of what they wish they could be. This understanding changes everything. You stop asking, "What is wrong with me?" You begin to see something is hurting inside them. And this is only the beginning. Part 2. Why people insult and the power of a smart response. In Part 1, you learned one important truth. An insult does not define you. It reveals the person who speaks it. Now we go deeper. To truly protect your confidence, you must understand the mind behind insults. When you see clearly, you stop reacting blindly. You stop bleeding inside. You stop shrinking. So let us continue. People insult for many reasons, but almost all reasons come from weakness, not strength. The second reason people insult is control. Some people want power, not real power, not the power of discipline, not the power of growth. They want emotional power over others. They want to feel important. They want to feel above you. They want to see your reaction. They want to see your face change. They want to see if they can move your emotions with their words. When they insult you and you react with anger, shame, or fear, something happens. They feel bigger. They feel in control. They feel like they touched your inner world. To them, this is victory. They do not care about truth. They do not care about fairness. They care about impact. This is why some people choose words carefully, not to communicate, but to wound. If you become silent and hurt,
they feel powerful. If you explode with anger, they also feel powerful, because in both cases, they control your emotional state. But when you remain calm, something strange happens. They lose their advantage. They lose their emotional weapon. They lose their control. Your calm becomes their weakness. This is not about being cold. This is not about being distant. This is about emotional mastery. A person who cannot control their emotions is easy to control. A person who can stay centered is free.
The third reason people insult is unhappiness. Many people live with heavy hearts. They feel stuck. They feel disappointed with their own life. They feel lost in their own mind. They wake up tired. They go to sleep tired. They carry regret. They carry anger. They carry self-hatred. But instead of facing their own pain, they look outside. They look for someone to blame, someone to attack, someone to make feel smaller. When they insult you, they are not solving their problems, they are avoiding them. For a short moment, their pain feels lighter. For a short moment, they feel less alone in their suffering. But after the moment passes, their life is still the same. Their problems remain. Their inner emptiness remains. So they insult again, and again, and again. This cycle has nothing to do with you. You are only nearby. Once you understand this, something changes. You stop seeing insults as personal attacks. You start seeing them as emotional leaks. A leak from a heart that does not know how to heal. The fourth reason people insult is emotional immaturity. Some people never learned how to express discomfort with respect. They never learned how to say, "I feel hurt." They never learned how to say, "I disagree." They never learned how to say, "I need space." So instead, they attack. They use sharp words. They use sarcasm. They use humiliation. They act like children in adult bodies. They do not know how to manage emotions. They only know how to release them. When a child feels frustrated, they may scream, they may throw things, they may cry loudly. When an emotionally immature adult feels frustrated, they may insult, they may belittle, they may mock. This is not strength. This is a lack of emotional skills. Understanding this helps you in two ways. You stop taking their words as truth. You stop lowering yourself to their level. You do not fight a storm with more storm. You become the calm center inside it. The fifth reason people insult is habit. Some people grew up in environments where disrespect was normal. They saw parents shout, they saw teachers humiliate, they saw adults solve problems with words that cut. So they learned one lesson. This is how people communicate. They do not even realize they are hurting others. They think this is normal speech. They think this is honesty. They think this is strength. But honesty does not require cruelty. Strength does not require humiliation. Still, their habits are not your responsibility. You are not required to accept pain because someone else never learned respect. Now you understand something important. Insults come from fear, from control, from unhappiness, from emotional immaturity, from habit, never from true confidence. Now the question becomes clear. How do you respond without losing your confidence? Not with silence that comes from fear, not with anger that destroys your peace, but with a smart response, a response that protects your inner world, a response that sets boundaries, a response that shows self-respect. Before we talk about words, we must talk about your inner position. The real battle does not happen outside. It happens inside your mind. When someone insults you, your mind reacts instantly. Your heart speeds up. Your thoughts race. Your body becomes tense. This is natural. This is human. But what happens next decides everything. If you believe the insult, your confidence drops. If you accept the insult, your self-image changes. If you replay the insult again and again, the wound grows. So the first step is internal. You must learn to pause. Pause before you speak. Pause before you react. Pause before you judge yourself. In that pause, you remind yourself of one truth. Their words are not my identity. Say it in your mind. Their words are not my identity. This single sentence creates distance. Distance between you and the insult. Distance between your worth and their opinion. Now you are no longer inside the attack. You are observing it. This is emotional strength. Next comes your external response. A smart response has 3 qualities: calm, clear, boundaries. Let us look at each one. First, calm. Calm is power. Calm is control. Calm tells the other person that they did not shake you. When you stay calm, you protect your nervous system. You protect your dignity. You protect your confidence. Calm does not mean weak. Calm means you choose your response. A calm response might sound simple, but simple does not mean easy. It takes practice. It takes awareness. Here are examples of calm responses. I don't accept being spoken to like that. Let's keep this respectful. That comment is not okay. Short, clear, no anger, no insult back. You are not attacking, you are setting a standard. Second, clear. A smart response is not long, it is not emotional, it is not full of explanations, it is direct. You do not say, I think maybe you didn't mean it, but I felt a little uncomfortable when you said that. This gives them too much room. You say, that was disrespectful. Clear language shows self-respect. It tells people how you expect to be treated. People respect clarity, even those who do not like it. Third, boundaries. Boundaries are not walls, they are lines. They say, this is where I end. They show what I allow. They show what I do not allow. When someone insults you and you stay silent every time, they learn something. They learn that this behavior is acceptable with you. Not because you deserve it, but because you did not define your limits. When you respond with a boundary, you change the dynamic. You teach others how to treat you. Here are examples of boundary responses. If you continue speaking like this, I will leave. I'm open to discussion, not disrespect. Speak to me properly, or we end this conversation. This is not aggression, this is self-respect. You are not asking for permission to be respected. You are declaring a standard. Now, let us address something important. Many kind people fear setting boundaries. They think, I don't want conflict. I don't want to be rude. I don't want to hurt them. But what happens when you never set boundaries? You slowly hurt yourself. You allow words that cut. You allow behavior that drains you. You allow your confidence to be chipped away. You become kind to others and cruel to yourself. True kindness includes yourself. True respect begins with how you treat your own heart. Setting boundaries does not make you cold. It makes you healthy. Now, let us talk about a very common situation: public insults. Someone makes a joke about you in front of others. They laugh. People look at you. Your face becomes warm. Your mind goes blank. In this moment, many people either freeze or explode. Freezing makes you feel small. Exploding often makes you look out of control. There is a third way. You respond with calm confidence. You might say, that wasn't necessary, or let's keep this respectful, or if you have something to say it properly. You do not raise your voice, you do not attack, you simply name the behavior. When you do this, something powerful happens. You shift the attention. The focus moves from you to their behavior. They are no longer in control of the moment. You are. Now, let us talk about private insults, the quiet ones, the subtle ones. A sarcastic comment, a dismissive tone, a small sentence meant to reduce you. These are often more dangerous because they are easy to ignore, and when ignored, they repeat. In these moments, you still respond, but you do it quietly, firmly. You might say, "What do you mean by that?" Or, "Can you explain why you said that?" This forces the other person to face their own words. Many times they back down because they were not prepared to explain their cruelty. Now you may ask, what if they continue? Then you take the next step. You remove access. You do not argue, you do not beg for respect, you reduce contact, you protect your space. Not everyone deserves access to your inner world. Confidence is not loud. Confidence is selective. You choose who has a voice in your life. Now, we must talk about one more thing, forgiveness. Forgiveness does not mean allowing disrespect. Forgiveness does not mean staying in harmful situations. Forgiveness means you do not let their words become your story. You can set boundaries and still forgive. You can walk away and still keep your peace. Forgiveness is for your freedom, not for their comfort.
Part 3. Building unshakable confidence and turning insults into strength. In Part 1, you learned this truth. An insult does not define you. It reveals the person who speaks it. In Part 2, you learned how to respond. With calm, with clarity, with boundaries. Now we go deeper. We move from response to transformation. This final part is about something greater. Not just surviving insults, but becoming stronger because of them. Not just protecting your confidence, but building a confidence that no insult can touch. This is not loud confidence, not the kind that needs attention, not the kind that needs to prove something. This is quiet strength, inner stability, self-respect that comes from within. Let us begin with one simple idea. Confidence is not what others think of you. Confidence is what you know about yourself. If your confidence depends on praise, it will fall when criticized. If your confidence depends on approval, it will disappear when rejected. If your confidence depends on silence from others, it will break when they speak. So where should it come from? From your values, from your actions, from your growth. You become confident when your life matches your principles. You become confident when you keep promises to yourself. You become confident when you respect your own effort. No insult can erase that. Let us talk about the foundation of unshakable confidence. The first foundation is self-definition. If you do not define who you are, the world will try to define you. If you do not choose your identity, others will assign one to you. So you must decide. Who are you becoming? What do you stand for? What kind of person do you want to be? Not based on fear, not based on what others expect, but based on your values. You might choose to be someone who is honest, someone who is disciplined, someone who is kind but firm, someone who grows every day. Write these values in your mind. Repeat them. Live them. When someone insults you, you return to your values. You ask one question. Does this change who I am choosing to be? The answer is no. If you are honest, an insult does not make you a liar. If you are disciplined, an insult does not make you weak. If you are kind, an insult does not make you small. Your identity stays rooted. Your confidence remains stable. The second foundation is self-trust. Many people lose confidence not because of others, but because they do not trust themselves. They say they will change, but they don't. They say they will try, but they stop when it becomes uncomfortable. Over time, something breaks inside.
They stop believing their own words. They stop respecting their own effort.
Confidence grows when you keep small promises to yourself. When you do what you say you will do, even when no one is watching. Wake up when you said you would. Study when you said you would. Practice when you said you would. Rest when you said you would. Each small action builds self-respect. Each kept promise strengthens your inner voice. So when someone insults you, your mind is calm. You know your worth. Not because you are perfect, but because you are trying, growing, improving. You trust yourself. The third foundation is emotional independence. This means your emotions are not controlled by every outside voice.
You listen to feedback, but you do not absorb abuse. You accept correction, but you reject humiliation. You become the owner of your emotional world. When someone speaks to you with disrespect, you do not give them the keys to your heart. You observe. You choose your response. This is not coldness. This is maturity. Emotional independence is freedom. Now let us talk about how to transform insults into strength. Yes, strength. Because every insult contains a hidden lesson, not about who you are, but about what you need to build. There are 3 ways to transform an insult. The first way is reflection. Ask yourself one question. Is there any truth in what they said? Not because they deserve your attention, but because growth requires honesty. If there is no truth, you let it go. You do not carry it. You do not replay it. If there is a small truth, you use it, not as a weapon against yourself, but as a tool for improvement. You do not say, I am worthless. You say, I can grow. This is the difference between shame and responsibility. Shame says you are the problem. Responsibility says there is something you can improve. Responsibility builds confidence. Shame destroys it. The second way is redirection. Instead of asking, why did they hurt me? Ask, where am I going? Do not focus on the noise behind you. Focus on the path in front of you. Every minute you spend thinking about their words is a minute you steal from your future. Do not give that power away. Use the energy. Train harder. Study deeper. Work with more focus. Let your growth answer what your mouth does not. One day, their words will feel small because you became larger inside. The third way is meaning. Every difficult moment can shape you, or it can break you. When you choose meaning, pain becomes training. Rejection becomes discipline. Insults become lessons in strength. You say, this moment is teaching me something. You become a student of life, and students do not quit when the lesson is hard.
Now we must address a very important fear. The fear of becoming cold. The fear of losing kindness. Many gentle people worry, if I become strong, will I become harsh? If I set boundaries, will I lose my softness? The answer is no. Strength does not remove kindness, it protects it. Without boundaries, kindness becomes self-sacrifice. Without self-respect, empathy becomes exhaustion. True strength allows you to remain kind without being destroyed. You can be compassionate and firm. You can be gentle and grounded. You can be respectful and unmovable. This is not a contradiction. This is balance. Now let us talk about daily practices, simple actions that build unshakable confidence over time. Practice 1. Morning alignment. Each morning, remind yourself who you are becoming, not in long speeches, in one sentence. I am building a calm and strong mind, or I respect myself and my path, or I choose growth over fear. This sets the tone for your day. Practice 2. Evening reflection. At night, ask yourself 3 questions. Did I act according to my values today? Did I respect my time and energy today? What can I improve tomorrow? No judgment, only awareness. Practice 3. Boundary rehearsal. In your mind, practice simple responses, not in anger, in clarity. That was disrespectful. I don't accept being spoken to like that. Let's keep this respectful. When the moment comes, your body will remember. Practice 4. Self-dialogue. Watch how you speak to yourself. If you repeat insults in your own mind, you become your own enemy. Replace harsh inner words with honest and supportive ones, not fake positivity, real respect. Instead of "I am useless," say "I am learning." Instead of "I always fail," say "I am improving." Your inner voice shapes your confidence more than any outsider. Now, we must speak about something deeper, forgiving yourself. Sometimes the person who insults you most is you. You replay mistakes, you repeat regrets, you punish yourself for not being perfect. Confidence cannot grow in a mind that attacks itself. Forgive your past, not to forget, but to move forward. You are not who you were, you are who you are becoming, and becoming takes time. Now let us imagine your future self, a version of you who has walked through disrespect without losing dignity, a version of you who does not react to every noise, a version of you who knows their worth without shouting it.
This person is calm in conflict, clear in communication, firm in boundaries. People feel it when they speak to you. Not fear, but presence. They sense something different. Not arrogance, but grounded self-respect. This is the confidence that cannot be insulted away, because it does not live in opinions. It lives in identity. Now we reach the final truth. You cannot control what others say, but you can control what you accept. You cannot stop every insult, but you can stop it from becoming your story. You cannot make everyone respect you, but you can respect yourself in every situation. And that is enough. Not because life will be easy, but because you will be strong. When someone insults you in the future, remember this moment. Pause. Breathe. Return to who you are. Respond with calm. Speak with clarity. Set your boundaries. Then walk forward, without bitterness, without carrying their weight. Your confidence is not something they can take. It is something you build, every day, with every choice. You are not defined by the voices around you. You are defined by the values within you. And that is the kind of confidence that lasts.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Self-Study Every Day for more helpful lessons. Leave a comment and tell me what you want to learn next.